April 30th and closed by July 1st. Again, this is not going to last all year like this last version of the tax credit has, but it is being extended and expanded. Some really cool things have been added that we'll talk about in a little bit.
So, and I think on a lot of people's minds is, April sounds so far, but that's going to sneak up on us pretty fast.
In the real estate market, things can happen very quickly. Things can also take an inordinate amount of time, especially with all of the short sales and the foreclosure issues that we're all dealing with. So while it might seem like you've got forever, just look into how fast this last year has gone by and get an idea that the tax credit is there. If you do want to use it and take advantage of it, might be a good idea to start thinking about it and asking some questions. Please call me, Lou Tornambe, with WR Starkey Mortgage. Again, phone number is 720-489-0712. Be happy to talk to you about it. At the end of the show, I've got a website that is put out by the feds that will give you a lot more information in detail. In addition to that, this is tax information we're talking about. Please do not forget to talk to your trusted tax advisor, somebody that you already pay to do your taxes. This is somebody who knows the tax code, gets paid to understand it. It's long, arduous, and it's written in 30 different languages. So,
yeah, I don't know if anybody's been able to tell so far, but I'm definitely not a lawyer by any means. Neither is Lou. We are not tax professionals either. So
nor do we claim to be.
No, real estate broker and mortgage broker. So let's get into what are the official changes with the tax credit. I mean, what basically changed from the last time? I know we've extended some things. Was there a change?
There have been quite a few changes. I like to call it was and is. The way it used to exist for 2009 is that you were granted a tax credit up to $8,000 for having bought a home. Some of the rules were that you could not have owned a home within the last 3 years. This tax credit has been called by many a first-time home buyer tax credit. It definitely stimulated the first-time buyers and got the market rolling with that group. However, it was not necessarily just for first-time home buyers. Again, if you had not owned a home in the last 36 months, you did qualify for the tax credit.
And that was a misconception among a lot of people, was it was sort of put out there and maybe promoted as a first-time home buyer credit, but it actually never really was that.
It was called that. A lot of first-time buyers used it, but again, you did not have to be a first-time buyer, just not a recent owner. Now, some of the things that did change, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to get to that. I think the income limits sort of went up for us. Is that correct?
We've had quite a few great changes to it. Yes, the income limits have gone up substantially. The way it used to be, you had to be $75,000 max as a single person or $150,000 max as a married couple. Now, you can make up to $125,000 as a single person, which I'm sure a lot of you out there would like to be doing, and up to $225,000 as a married couple. So the income limits have gone up drastically. In addition to that, it is no longer just a tax credit for what we would call a first-time buyer, but as we've spoken already, just not having owned a home in the last 3 years. It has now been expanded to include people that have currently owned a home, lived in it for 5 of the last 8 years. If you fall into that category, again, in order to stimulate the market, they are now expanding the tax credit to allow for families, single individuals, couples, whatever, that have owned a home to buy another home. Does not have to be a more expensive home. Doesn't have to be a less expensive home. We've called it a move-up buyer, but it's actually the move-over buyers are included. If you've lived in your home for 5 of the last 8 years, you now qualify for up to $6,500 in tax credit as well. So that's a new addition, great piece that they've added to it. Should stimulate the market again and maybe move up in a little bit more of a price range for the next buyer.
Yeah, I think that's great, because I think that was one of the markets that was sort of hurting, was that move-up market. I mean, the lower-priced first-time homebuyer homes seem to be moving a lot, and it was that sort of middle market that wasn't having such a great push that hopefully now this will help.
I think so.
Yeah. So once again, you're listening to Open House on AM760. I'm Brad Wilson.
This is Lou Tornambe.
And we'd love to have you call in. Our call-in number is 303-713-7600. Let's feature one more house, and then maybe we'll get to Adam on the line. The home I want to talk about right now is It's up in Northglenn, so for all you Northglenn listeners, it's a great home up there. It's 11881 Gaylord Way. So it's right off 120th in Washington. It's a ranch with a full basement, fully finished basement. You're looking at 1075 up and 1075 down on square feet. A beautiful brick ranch. And it's pretty much, what was our price on it? $179.9.
Right.
So we're running $179.9. Great opportunity for a buyer right there. It's almost a complete remodel. I mean, we got a remodeled kitchen, remodeled bath, new flooring, new cabinets, new countertops, new light fixtures, appliances. I mean, it's a beautiful home.
Did you mention bedrooms and baths yet?
Everything's done. It looks great. We're looking at a 4-bedroom, 2 full bath, a great home. Please call me at 303-918-0830 for a private showing, or call on in to the actual station live at 303-713-7600, and we'll be able to get you more information on this home and get you the opportunity to go in and see it for yourself.
Outstanding. Thank you very much. And again, don't forget, if you have questions or concerns, want to know what's going on in the market, have finance questions, please don't hesitate to call in. We have open lines. Again, that phone number is 303-713-7600, and this is Open House with Brad and Lou.
We want to go swing over to Adam and see if we can. Adam's got a question.
Sure. Let's cue him up there. And
hey, Adam, you listening to Open House with Brad and Lou? You had a question?
Well, I guess I have a series of questions. In addition to this tax credit that you guys have been talking about, I see and hear things relating to how aggressive home prices are, which you've also mentioned in your broadcast this morning. And I also see and hear things about mortgage rates being at these incredibly low marks historically. Has there ever been a better time to buy a house in this market?
Well, that would be a matter of opinion for a lot, but the thought out there, specifically in the state of Colorado, is that with home prices having gone down to where they are, they've taken their hit, with interest rates as low as they are, incentives being put out by the government to help people with regard to buying, I don't think there could possibly be a better time to buy a home. Now, this might be a completely different conversation if you're talking about Florida or California or Las Vegas, where markets have not changed as quickly as ours have or as soon as ours have, but Colorado's market experienced a little bit of a fall in value earlier than most, and consequently is starting to come out of that valley sooner than most. And don't know if you've seen the information in the press over the last couple of months, but Colorado has nationally been touted as the best state to buy real estate in. With all the information coming from the press, this is the number one real estate market in the country right now.
Yeah, I definitely feel like a lot of people are getting sort of hung up on the national news of real estate. I've got family that lives in Northern California, and I mean, there are some situations to where it is bad in some spots. But Colorado, I mean, it's been great. You can get a home at a great value. Interest rates are amazing, and I see no reason not to buy right now. I mean, it's just an awesome opportunity to get in while the market's at a great point to really gain some equity once the things start to shift on us.
By the way, Adam, any chance you're in the market for a home? I had to ask.
I wouldn't be calling otherwise.
I had to ask.
Any other questions you had, Adam?
No, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for calling in, Adam.
You bet.
Appreciate it. Have a great morning. Afternoon.
Okay, great. So, what is another thing that we maybe should know about this tax credit? I know there's some things that I've talked to some people and they go, well, I didn't know that, or there's definitely some misconception out there as to, I think one of the things is you can't sell your home, right?
Well, a couple of the changes. Again, recently released legislation. So can they change it? Yes, they can. Have they changed it in the middle of the year? Yes, they have. So this is the way it currently is written. Keeping abreast of everything and letting you know of any changes coming is part of my job. But a couple of things that are understood or misunderstood. You do not have to have the home that you are currently living in sold to buy a new home. If you have the ability to buy a new home, qualify for a new home, and buy it while maintaining your current residence as a rental, you still qualify for the tax credit. As a move-up or move-over buyer, this is part of the expanded tax credit. As part of the older credit,